Hi, so welcome, Karina, to episode number two of our our interviews in preparation for your Australian tour of the Soul Voice method in Australia, which is really exciting, starting really soon. So
Yeah.
for everyone watching, my name is Willow Pryor, and this is Karina Schelde, the founder of Soul Voice Method International. I hope I got that right, Karina. Yeah. So Karina has been my teacher for many years now. If you haven't seen the interview that we did or the podcast that we did a couple of months ago, I actually trained with Karina. It was close to 15, 20 years ago. I don't have dates in mind today, but it was a long time ago. And, Karina's work and the Soul Voice method has stayed close to my heart and something that I think is just so needed on this planet at this time. Yeah. So I think that the question for me that was coming up in the last week as I was sitting with this opportunity to interview you again was if there's a lot of people out there doing sound and voice work today, Karina. From when you started uh 20, 30 odd years ago, it's really exploded on the planet. And, I see that in the area that I live in, Southeast Queensland. And I'm sure, I see that on social media as well. So if I was new to sound and voice work, why would I come and learn from you? I suppose that's what I'd really like people to hear. What is uniquely soul voice, but also uniquely you? Because as we've discussed, and this is a unique opportunity to learn from the founder, and you are such an incredible pioneer in sound and voice, but also the founder of Soul Voice, and that torch of doing your practitioner training. You now have senior practitioners globally. So the opportunity to train with you, this is really a key moment, isn't it?
Yeah. As to your question, Willow, I believe that credibility is also as to how long and how effectively the method has been on the planet and has been really successful. I have taught over 300 practitioners worldwide, and there's 100 to over 100 people practicing at this point of time. So it is a method that I have researched in depth over almost 40 years
Mm.
by learning, by doing. I don't have a specific person as a role model or other sound healers. So I had a primary education as an actress and also as a body worker and breath worker, work a lot with shamanic healing and embodiment of everything. So that credibility of having taught in over 25 countries worldwide the last over 30 years and having continuously refined and refined the method so that these practices and techniques and exercises that we are doing, even on a beginner's workshop, which is not only beginner's workshop, it's also for people who have done a lot of work, voice
Mm.
work already, but they
Yes.
are very crisp and clear and to the point, I mean that they really go into our subconscious depths in safety, because if we unravel quite not fast, but in a gentle, deep way into there where we really find our real self in our subconscious, in the reptilian instinctive rawness of ourselves, in our sensations, our feelings, the way we sense the world, the way we use our senses, the way we feel. if we are able to dive in and combine that with our um, brain, our right and left brain, and our higher consciousness, and really get that depth into, we could say, our daily life, then we are in balance. I believe that one of the most important things to really work with today is to really know thyself and know how to, at any moment, release stress and be realigned to the higher meaning in every given moment, the higher consciousness, but connected to the very depth of all that you are. So the emotional body is obviously very important in this soul voice work because many people are bypassing that, I believe, to come to higher consciousness faster or in a non-embodied way. There's no judgment, there's room for everyone. But the emotional body connected to the higher consciousness and consciousness and to our instincts and to the lower part of our body and our heart and all our feelings. And that is unique with the soul voice work. I have really targeted that as one of the keys, definitely to start with in a beginner's workshops, and people get aligned,
Mm, mm,
get back to the vibrational energy that we were meant to be, because sound healing is so, so powerful when you're embodied in it and when you can really vibrate everything so that your intuition really can flourish, but out from embodiment.
mm. Yeah. It, it makes, remember just how much using our sound and that embodiment piece anchors that energy, yeah, that connection deeply to self that you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
Because there are a lot of people talking about, embodiment is a pretty popular, there's a bit of a fad, with the word embodiment at the moment. So you were doing embodiment work as I was, before it was even a word, so to speak, before it was used, widely. So, yeah, that makes deep sense to me, the way that you work and what you've anchored in over the years. I,
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
really
yeah.
it's really a contact to the DNA, yeah, but in a tangible way, to our cellular memory, because we are recorded in sound frequencies. If we really unravel all that we are in our inner systems, everything is so subtle and really recorded in that DNA that we consist of. But the therapeutic part is very profound. The expressive part is also profound, like how to really stand in your own power, in your own self-respect, in your own honor of yourself, and express all that you are. I'm very happy that I had acting background, not talking, talking, but again, embodiment, mask theater, comedy, laughter, and so forth. But to really have the playful aspect so people can go into the full expression. But this is also therapeutic. I call it therapeutic acting. It's not like, yeah, yeah, let's just have a great time. We can show this and this. No, it just really goes into all your fear points, and everybody has fear when you start to unravel on a deeper level. And how can you own that and traverse really through it by expressing yourself in these different ways that I'm showing through exercises already in the 2 days workshop. It's a very fun, very playful, very deep.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely it is. And I know that you're alluding as to, that journey expands, and the container that you hold for that therapeutic acting is just amplified as you move through the PCP, the practitioner certified program. And yeah, as you were talking, yeah, I was like, oh, some of my, my favorite memories over the years are, those some of those wildly fun and yeah, places that I went to and we went to in the practitioner program, over a decade and half ago. I still speak of some of my own experiences, which yeah, just bring me so much joy and laughter, but also really challenge me in a safe container to move beyond what was safe or, yeah,
Yeah,
what I perceived to be unsafe.
yeah.
I was able to move through it in that safe container into, yeah, you held that place beautifully decade and a half ago, so I can only imagine, what space you'd be holding now. Um, yeah, it was. I think it was two decades ago. My sense of time has gone today. Yeah, so I think that's a great sort of, yeah, you've touched on a few things the soul voice method, the initial 2-day course touches on. It is not just about exploring the voice, and it is, but there is so much more. There is, the embodiment work, there is the therapeutic acting work, but using the voice as that instrument, as the key medium, yeah, to explore those areas. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, and trusting vulnerability. I think vulnerability is such a high quality today to really be held in that vulnerable self that is can be so fragile or so traumatic, and how to work with sound frequencies so that you step by step get guided how to work with that. And also after just the 2 days, how you can start to very delicately release some of your own, not only physical pain, but emotional pains and mental, psychological pains
Mm.
that you carry, that you get tools so that you, in a safe container, also at home, because you've had that weekend experience, can really carry it back home. And of course, I'll give instructions on all that. And also, there's possibility for creating tribes after the 2 days workshop that then leads up to the 6 days, the calling in Melbourne later in March, so that people are being held in this safe container also after the workshop.
Yeah, so for those who don't know or you haven't read about the ongoing work that Karina's doing, we'll be hosting the Brisbane 2-day Soul Voice workshop, the 8th and 9th of March. So a great way to celebrate International Women's Day, to really find your voice and to express. And then almost a week later is the calling, which is the second prerequisite for the practitioner certification program. Are there, if there is a 2-day workshop in Sydney and Melbourne, are those dates before Brisbane, Karina?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. In Sydney, it's the 1st and 2nd of March, and in Melbourne, it's 22nd and 23rd of February.
Yeah, so it's coming up quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. I think yeah, we've covered a lot, and I think we might leave it there, Karina, and people can reach out if they've got anything more that they would like. But thank you so much for giving us this overview, and I can't wait to play with you in March on the
I
two
look
days.
so much forward. Oh, my heart is already bursting.